Hi guys, and welcome back to Car Focused. Today, as you can probably see behind me, it's a bit of a trip down memory lane because we've got a Fiesta ST, and that belongs to Keith here, who's kindly brought his car down for me to have a spin in. Keith, it's not an ordinary Fiesta ST, is it? This has got a bit of a few extra modifications.
Yes, it's been tuned. It's currently running RT330 by Revo.
Yeah.
That's the power. Obviously it's had suspension, brakes, exhaust, all the usual things that we like to do to these cars. At the heart of that conversion is obviously a large turbo, and Revo have made a big deal about working with turbo techniques.
Yeah.
And when you compare the two together, you can see how small the original one is, which is fantastic really for what's been done with it.
Yeah.
But the bigger turbo is always going to give you bang for buck, isn't it? And you then start questioning, well, can that little 1.6 engine do this?
Are you worried about the extra power and the reliability of the engine?
Well, do you know what? If it was a car from 10 years ago, running older style injection systems and management systems, yes, I would be.
Yeah.
Can't deny. But these direct fuel injection engines, with the modern management system commanding as they do, the engine's absolutely standard on this car. So are the injectors.
So stock internal, everything is
internals, yeah. And yes, it has been designed to be driven on the standard clutch, flywheel, which is a commonly asked question. Have you changed either of those two items like you do on the Focuses and older Fiestas?
I don't see the point in changing it until it goes, to be fair, until the clutch goes.
No, there isn't. The one thing I have done to the gearbox is fitted a limited slip diff, which obviously Ford are doing on the new Mark 8 as an option, which kind of tells you all you really need to know, doesn't
exactly.
it? It's a highly regarded option on that.
Okay, so obviously you've got that upgrade. What does that actually come with then, that upgrade?
So the upgrade itself comes with the turbocharger, obviously.
Yeah.
All the supporting pipework, as in oil and water feeds, all have to be changed. And then you'll get the boost pipes to and from the intercooler.
Okay.
And that's all the kit together.
Yep.
Some of that you can fit yourself and then leave somebody else to fit the turbo for you.
Save a bit of cash on labour.
Well, that's exactly what I did. If you want to sit in your front garden swearing, that's fine. Then obviously you're going to need a fairly big intercooler, and there's lots of options on the market. AirTech Stage 3 is what I've got fitted. That's a fairly popular one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pro Alloy have just brought out a new one, which is a beautiful piece of kit, including a new slam bar that's all curved. Apparently is wonderful, but at twice the price.
Yeah.
You'd want it to be, wouldn't you?
Exactly. So what made you, a lot of people decide to sort of go with Mountune. What made you not go down the Mountune route? Is there any reason?
When I bought it, it was a Mountune MP215.
Oh, it was an MP215?
So I had it 215 from you.
Yeah.
Which stayed like that for about a month and a half until I succumbed to the really popular Collins Stage 2 software, which I could install at home. So at that point I'd done the exhaust, the sports cap downpipe, because it's one, done a R-Sport front intercooler, standard size, standard shorter one, and replaced all of that, and that's how I kept it for 2 years. And fantastic car. And
then you just wanted a little bit more power.
I'd finished another project off, should we say, and yes, it was something that was in the back of my mind, but while the car was under warranty and until I'd paid the PCP off, I didn't think it was really right to start extensively modifying it.
No, that makes sense. You mentioned you had a downpipe exhaust. What exhaust have you got?
The exhaust on here is a non-resonated Miltec.
Okay.
Quite quiet, nice system, probably quite a popular one.
I was going to say Miltec is...
Yeah, some would say that is the actual Mountune system as well, with a different battery.
That's very true.
And then it's got their front pipe and sports cap fitted. So
okay.
I know a lot of people, because of the age of the car at the time, were going decap because it wasn't MOT'd.
Yeah.
But we won't open that can of worms.
No.
It is.
I personally prefer to keep some form of cat on it. It just makes it much easier, doesn't it?
Yes.
I like the way you've done. I mean, this car is nice and subtle, isn't it? Obviously, you've got the power upgrades and you've got a few subtle modifications. So, exterior-wise, what have you got on the exterior that you can visually see on this car?
Visually see very little. It's very, very much Ford, and any modifications to it are incredibly subtle.
Yeah.
A clear rear brake light.
Okay, yeah, very subtle.
And that is the only exterior modification that's coming to mind.
You've got the wheels, obviously.
Well, yeah, okay. Wheels as well. Changed those fairly quickly to the Team Dynamic wheels. Those ones are cut to the Ford size, so there's no spigot rings or anything like that.
Okay, straight on.
Had to be spaced out for the bigger brakes,
Yeah.
Which was a bit of a disappointment, don't mind admitting.
Are you not a fan of the spacers on this, or it looks quite nice, doesn't
From an
it?
engineering point of view, I'd rather they weren't there. But,
Yeah.
I bought really good ones, designed for the job, and special nuts. Obviously, as you fit a spacer, you've got to have maintain the same amount of thread. I think it's simple with fitting them, to be honest. But
it looks nice, though.
It looks nice. Yeah, I said that together. I would agree with you.
Definitely looks nicer. So the big brakes, K-Sport, you say?
Yes.
4 pots?
6 pots.
Oh, 6 pots.
6 pots on this one, 3 or 4 discs.
Oh, nice.
Currently running standard rear brakes, but they're about to be changed to Focus ST170 because they're bigger.
Okay.
So I've just got to get the carriers, bigger discs on, just to match it a bit. But anybody with one of these will know how bad the standard Ford brakes are.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously used to have one of these myself. Yeah, and they're not the best, are they?
Yeah.
So are you happy now with the way this car stops? Are you happy with the brake conversion?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you don't want to stop any quicker? No
need to be honest. If I'm frank, the car's pretty much where I want it to be.
Yeah,
I really enjoy it as it sits here right now.
So no more modifications in the pipeline.
Well, I've said that too many times in my life.
Well, I think that's enough talking about the outside of this car. I think we need to head out and actually see how the thing performs. So
yeah, you're itching to drive it.
If you're happy to let me take the wheel,
I think so, yes.
We'll go and have a blast.
Yep.
Yeah, so it must be like a year and a half since I've driven one of these.
Yeah, since you did the review.
ST200.
Back in it, didn't you? How long since you sold yours? Two
Oh god, yeah, that was 2.5 years ago. Yeah, because I've had the RS nearly 2 years now. I'll go left here. So obviously the main thing with these cars is the suspension's quite choppy, isn't it? Quite harsh in stock form.
Better on these IBAC springs than H&R and standard. Definitely.
Oh yeah, you got to hear the flutter. You got the turbo flutter.
A lot more of that to come.
Well, we're just not even touching boost really there, are we? Yeah. So when I take these cars out, I normally try and get a feel for it, just what it's like, just cruising around generally, just normal driving.
Yeah.
And then obviously more for what it's made for, on a nice twisty road.
It's made for both, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you can't really go wrong with a Fiesta either, can you? To be fair.
No. Not compared to some, put it that way.
Sounds nice, doesn't it, the exhaust?
Yes, yeah. It's not too intrusive.
But yeah, it's actually...
well, the whole car isn't actually that intrusive.
It's actually quite smooth. It's not too... I remember my car, literally, you'd run over a gnat's pube and you could feel it.
It was a little like that until 2 weeks ago when I changed it onto these springs.
Yeah. So if we were to go into second gear and accelerate, are we just going to brake traction?
Yes.
We are. Is it quite pointless?
You probably will in third gear.
Yeah, really?
Try third gear first, then you'll get a feel for
Yeah,
it.
it does pull, doesn't it?
It does pull. Yeah.
It sounds nice.
If I look a bit worried, it's because I'm used to holding the wheel as I do that myself.
Yeah, I can see.
I think you forget, don't you? When
you do.
The passengers,
you do.
It's a different experience, isn't it?
It sounds nice, mate. So it all still feels, it feels quite, it's not too crazy, it's not too out of control.
No.
Bit of torque steer, but as expected, it's all going through the front wheels.
It is. You're probably not on the best road.
No.
To not witness it.
To be honest though, just with that one third gear pull we've done just then, it feels similar to my Mark III RS.
It is very. I mean, it's the one thing I noticed with mine. It's got a lot more torque.
Yeah.
So it's harder on the torque. The torque is backed off this one for the clutch purpose. But actually, yeah, it's comparable to both cars.
It feels similar power, similar speed.
Yeah.
This is a bumpy road, isn't it?
If you ask me, if Ford wanted to have built an RS version of this is what they could have done.
Yeah.
Something very similar to this.
Apparently there isn't a market for it, but I don't necessarily agree. I think they will. I think it would sell.
Well, do you not think the problem with there's no market for it is that it's a shared market with the Focus, isn't it?
I think if I did an RS version of this, in four-wheel drive, it would be the better car, wouldn't it?
That's the one they take out rallying.
You all right there, King?
Like I say, it's a different experience sitting
I know.
beside. I can now understand why my wife goes very quiet sometimes.
Right, we've got some S-bends here, so let's just see how she handles. It's nice and flat. I think you've just got to modulate the throttle, haven't you, in these high-powered front-wheel drive cars, and then now we can accelerate.
Yeah.
It is very quick. It's very quick, yeah.
It is quick.
It's surprising for a Fiesta.
Yeah.
I bet you do surprise a lot of people in this, don't you?
Surprise yourself. Yes, you do. Yeah. It's not what they expect it to be.
I definitely think this would hang on to the back of my Focus. I do think it would hang on to the back. I don't know if it's quicker. It's hard to tell.
No, I think the biggest difference is the four-wheel drive system,
Yeah.
and the stability and traction that gives you, that this car is always going to be lacking. I think if you just went out and out power from a rolling 30, probably would be very similar.
But it does, I mean, we've got dry roads now, and it doesn't seem to be losing too much traction. I mean, third gear.
It's not like in the 90s when we were sticking to 2-litre turbo engines, Novas and Corsas, and they were wild. They were all over the place, and even the Astra VXR is the same.
Yeah.
In this, feels very controlled, as it does most modern cars, which is fantastic.
So we've got the bigger turbo as well. So you'd expect a bit more lag from a bigger turbo, wouldn't you?
There's no lag.
And you don't. I say I'm not getting any lag.
No.
You still got the low down torque as well.
Yeah.
So what's the torque figures on this?
If I remember correctly, and I'm not always a statistics man, I think it's about 320.
Okay.
So it's
So it's not too shabby.
no, it's not too shabby.
Let's quickly try second gear pull. So yeah, we did brake traction there, obviously. Second gear, I wouldn't expect any less really, but.
And don't forget, you've still got traction control fully switched on.
Oh, is it still fully on?
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
it's probably best left on, isn't it?
I think probably so. Says it diplomatically.
Yeah, I really like it, mate. I say I always used to say with the MP215, I think it was like a perfect blend of power, fun, handling, that kind of thing, and I didn't really think it needed any more. But I can see the appeal with something like this. It just turns the car into a proper monster, doesn't it?
It moves it up into the next level, doesn't it?
It does. You're sort of playing with the big boys now, aren't you, in a little Fiesta? Oh, little pop there from the exhaust.
I'll do it if you ask it nicely.
Yeah. Nice bit of drama. Yeah, it's fun. The good thing about these Fiestas are they're just like little go-karts, aren't they?
Aren't they? They do take you back into that small hot hatch.
They do.
Fun factor that we've kind of lost a bit, haven't we?
We have, and I think
As we've got middle age, there's a little bit more of us to carry around. This car sort of takes you back to that.
I'm not quite at that stage yet, but I'm getting there. I was expecting it to be a proper fighter, like proper all over the road.
It's not, is it? No.
It's not. It's quite easy to keep it in a straight line as long as you're gripping the wheel fairly tight.
Yeah. No, it's a very usable conversion. It's not an animal, even in the wet. If you want to put your foot down, you can do.
Just be a bit smoother with the
overtake over the white lines. Then you regain confidence and control.
Yeah. It's all
I'm
about
very happy with it. I've driven lots of fast cars of this type of car, and this is very comparable to all of them.
Right, here's those S-bends again. Holding on.
Holding on. I've got my hand on the worry bar.
Car coming the other way. Won't go too hard. Because I found these cars handled brilliantly as well for a front-wheel drive car.
Yes, they do.
So it goes all the way to 7, doesn't it? All the way to 7, and it boost doesn't drop off.
Boost actually increases after 3,000, so it's about 1.2 bar, I think it is, and then it goes up to about 1.4.
Yeah, it's not nice and solid. Another corner. A second gear. Bit of wet there on the inside. I think I can feel the diff. Oh, you bugger! Sorry about that.
Stack up orders.
Oh God.
No, you can feel the diff working.
Yeah, I was going to say round that.
So you haven't driven it without them?
No.
So you don't have a comparison. But having driven one of these, I think even in a 215, the diff would add so much better to it.
Yeah. No, you do need a diff, don't you? Really, when you're pushing more than stock. Yeah, that's very impressive, mate. Very impressive. I can see why you like it so much.
Yeah.
It kind of makes
cheaper than buying a new car.
Exactly.
See, that's what I said to the wife. Cheaper than buying a new car.
Are you allowed to give us a rough estimate on the cost of the conversion, or is that something you want to keep?
The conversion plus suitable intercooler is about 36.
Okay.
But you will need the exhaust system as well.
Which is another, what, 600 is it for
600 around, 600-700, those sorts of prices. Suspension, brakes, they're all extras. You don't need to change the brakes, to be frank. It's what you might want to do afterwards, but I would say if you're driving at 70, it still takes the same amount of braking, doesn't it?
In fact, talking of brakes, do you mind if I step on the brakes a little bit? I'm not going to do an emergency stop, I just want to see. Oh yeah, blimey. Yeah, they do work.
They do work.
They feel very good.
Good job I didn't have too much breakfast.
No, it's really nice, mate. And it kind of makes you think, because these cars, you can pick these up for what, $6,000 now? $6.5 grand for like a 13 plate?
Easily, probably a little less if it's had an accident damaged one, if you want to save money.
I mean, they're actually quite a hot hatch bargain, aren't they?
They were from brand new, in my opinion. So when they're second hand, they definitely are.
Yeah, well, thanks for letting me have a quick drive. I appreciate that.
Welcome.
It's kind of got me thinking now. If I, if I had to really grow up and sell the RS and get like a, an all-round fast estate car, I think it'd be nice to have one of these as a toy, wouldn't it, in the garage? Find a cheap one, tidy it up a little bit.
To find people, that's what people are actually doing.
Yeah. It'd be a great track car, wouldn't it?
It would be.
Okay guys, well I think we're going to wrap it up. As always, thank you for tuning in. Thank you to Keith.
Cheers Gary.
And until the next video, I shall see you soon.